Another shortest possible video here to prove more corruption and fraud being allowed to go through, being facilitated by Belfast High Court. I have an order here that was produced on Friday the 26th of May 2017. That was the same day that approximately 30 rogue police officers along with 20 security guards took possession, stole 110 acres at Maghaberry airfield, facilitated the theft of livestock, horses and cattle, and drove motor vehicles off the land. So I'm just going to show you the order here now. High Court of Justice, Northern Ireland, before the Honourable Madam Justice McBride on Friday the 26th day of May 2017 in the matter of the lands comprised in folios. There's the numbers. This is between Thomas Martin Keenan, plaintiff, Edward Campbell McCulloch, he's actually a man that had cattle on the lands. Lands, by the way, at the bank don't, part of the lands that the bank don't have a charge on. To all persons in occupation of the lands comprised in again. And by this order, here we've got a list of car registration numbers, the owners of all of these car registration numbers. Now, problem with this first bit of the order is at least 3 of those vehicles weren't anywhere near the lands until in or around or after lunchtime. That was after the event. That was, in the middle of and after the police illegally taking possession of all of these lands. So if I turn the page here, we'll go down here, and it says here, there will in any event be a further hearing in respect of this order on the 30th of May 2017. Now I'll cover that shortly. And then again it has ordered that, and then we've got the list of all these car registrations. I've actually got the stage now taking motor vehicles into court by the looks of things. So around here, and it has ordered that, and this is the things that the defendants have to do and not to do, and you can zoom in on that if anyone wants to read that, they can read it, right? And it is ordered that the cost of this application be reserved by the judge hearing the motion on the return date, right? Now, these are the start of the schedules at the bottom. These are the important bits. Schedule 1. No affidavits were filed on behalf of the plaintiff at the hearing of this application. The reason that there was no affidavits filed for this application is they didn't know they were going into court until that Friday, right? So there's no affidavits, no evidence given. This was a closed court. William Gowdy for the plaintiffs of King and Gowdy Solicitors on behalf of Allied Irish Banks, Thomas Martin Keenan and Light Source Renewable Energy. So we'll turn over here. Schedule 2. This is what the plaintiffs have to adhere to, right? Now, zoom in on that for anyone that wants to read that, but it's 2 and 3 here, that's the important bits. As soon as practicable, the plaintiff will serve on the defendants the originating summons in this action, together with a copy of this order and the order of the 11th of May 2017. The plaintiff will cause affidavits to be filed and served confirming the substance of what was said to the court by the applicant's counsel. The thing about this is, that hasn't happened. To date, that hasn't taken place. I'm going to show you why in a minute. Now, the plaintiff solicitors, here it is here. Plaintiff solicitors are King and Gowdy, 298 Upper Newton Ards Road, Belfast, BT43EJ. This is the end of the court order here, not signed, right? Now, we'll come up then to the 30th day of May. This is the return date, the following Tuesday. Now we'll have our old friend again before the Honourable Mr. Justice O'Hara, right? 30th day of May, Thomas Martin Keenan, plaintiff, and Edward Campbell McCulloch, all persons and occupations of folios. This time they've decided now to keep the comprised bit out, so they're not really sure now what lands it is. Again, all these owners and all these motor vehicles here now are all up in court, taking cars into court. Upon this matter being listed, and upon reading the documents, and upon hearing counsel for the plaintiff, Mr. William Gowdy again. Now that hearing did take place because I sent a couple of people down there just to hear what happened, but this bit wasn't mentioned in the hearing. This is a very important bit. It is ordered that the injunction dated the 26th of May 2017, that's the order I just showed you there, be and it is hereby discharged, right? So, to try and explain this here, what has happened there is, on the Friday that the police officers, rogue police officers, were on the land, taking possession illegally, they were asked for paperwork, they were asked for deeds of appointment of receivers, court orders, power of entry by the police, couldn't show any of that. What has happened here is, in around lunchtime, Superintendent Sean Wright and his Inspector John Wilson, I think it is, they have phoned King and Gowdy Solicitors, they phoned Thomas Martin Keenan, phoned all around the whole place and said, look, we have absolutely ballsed up here. We're standing here with no paperwork or anything else. These people are asking for paperwork. What we are doing here is illegal. So King and Gowdy solicitors have got on to William Gowdy down in the bar library beside the High Court. He has rushed round into the court. Seen was there a judge there. Madam Justice McBride, whether she even heard this case, very much doubt it. What has happened is King and Gowdy solicitors have printed off these orders themselves, got them all emailed across to Lisburn Police Station, or drove them out in the motor, and they started handing these orders out to everybody that's seen out in the ground at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, right? So the point I'm making here is that these firms of solicitors are going into the court being sanctioned and being allowed to create court orders, and in this case cover up the criminal activities of the Police Service of Northern Ireland along with their henchmen. So there's a bit more of fraud and corruption going on in there. We have written into Madam Justice McBride asking her to explain her actions on that day. No response, and this is what, 3 months later. So one other thing I want to show here to do with these orders, by the way, which proves, apart from the fact that none of them are signed, it's even worse than that. If I set these down in line here, right, set these like this. Here's another order I have here just to show it's not just two. Here's three orders. This is actually my committal order here of the 11th of May 17. Now I want you to zoom in on the stamps. Try and get the 3 stamps in line there. You'll notice here, Court of Judicature, Northern Ireland. Between, see this word between here? H and the B beside it, of Northern Ireland, B. H and the B beside it. H and the B beside it, right? Here's my point. These orders are being printed off left, right and centre in solicitors' offices. The reason the judges aren't signing them, because they don't even know whether they have sanctioned an order or not. There are orders been issued left, right and centre that the court has never even heard. Now there's no point in me taking any of this to the Law Society, because the Law Society, which to a degree is the court, Royal Courts of Justice, is actually partly sponsored by Allied Irish Banks, First Trust Bank, conflict of interest or what. So when I get some more information, as promised you before in another video, on some of the firms of solicitors and some of the judges as well, I'll do another video on that one. So again, thanks for listening.